Today's video is brought to you guys by Factor. Factor has high quality, ready to eat meals delivered straight to your door to make summertime and working a breeze. Look, we do a lot of work, we're on the road a lot, and I'm always looking for a meal solution because our #1 argument at any time of the day is what are we eating? What are we eating for lunch? What are we eating for dinner? I've been looking for a better way to make our lives a little bit easier and have good high quality food that isn't gonna upset my stomach. You guys know I have stomach and health issues. Factor delivered with their ready to eat kits, heat and eat in 2 minutes, no prep, no mess, and their awesome shakes. We're gonna heat one up real quick and give it a taste. There's a ton of different options from keto to calorie smart, vegan, and even protein plus with 30+ grams of protein in every serving. These ready-to-eat meal kits are super easy. 2 minutes in the microwave, you get chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, high-quality meals that are gonna make your life a lot easier to eat a little bit better this summer. Factor makes my life a whole lot easier. No more going to the grocery store, no more wasting all that time, buying a bunch of junk you don't need. Just the food that I want, easy options, easy to change, delivered right to the door, bam, 2 minutes, and we're eating good meals. One of my favorite parts of Factor has been these shakes. They've got a whole bunch of add-ons, they've got different snacks, shakes, smoothies. I've really enjoyed their 100% plant-based keto shakes in the morning. I'm not a huge breakfast guy, I don't really like to eat, but over the last few weeks, having one of these shakes in the morning has given me a bunch of energy to get my day started and makes a great meal replacement. Don't forget, you guys can get all this and more when you head to factor75.com. Use the link in the description below or use our coupon code DNR Auto 50. You're gonna get 50% off your first meal box. I'm telling you guys, just for saving the time of having to go to the grocery store, figure out all the ingredients, make a halfway delicious and healthy meal, this stuff is definitely worth it. I'm really thankful that Factor decided to sponsor today's video and support our racing program, but I'm most thankful of how easy this is. We're not looking for food, we're not ordering food, it's right here in the fridge, fresh, never frozen, 2 minutes, we're good to go.
What's going on, guys? We are back again, and today we're in beautiful Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's right, we're at Beach Bend Dragway, Raceway, whatever it's called. And today we're here for the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. Now, normally this race I'm just working. Me and Brandon come out, we film, we photograph everything. But if you guys remember a couple months ago, we came out for the small tire no time shootout, which is also going on this weekend. And we've got a running race car. So I'm looking forward to getting on the track and trying to make some laps. Do I think I've got what it takes for these guys? I will tell you, since we won that first one, the diesels have come out in full force. Plus, I know there's some other gas guys coming, so I'm not really sure what that's going to hold for us. But one thing I know is that we've got the new converter in, and although we got to race on the new converter on the street last week, we don't really know what it's capable of, what kind of changes it's going to make, that kind of stuff, because we haven't had it on a good surface. That was a really terrible surface last weekend. I'm really looking forward to see what the converter can do on a nice tight surface. So today the name of the game is just going to be personal best chasing. We're going to do a little bit of racing. It's a $100 buy-in with $1,000 on top. Definitely not mad. Also, there's like a theme park right next to the racetrack. I've never been. This is my first time in Bowling Green. So there's like there's roller coasters and stuff right here. I don't know that we're gonna get a chance to get on them, but that's possible. Anything's possible this weekend. So we got the car unloaded, but we got to go right to work. Brandon and I got to get to work on filming all the stuff for our contract work for Hot Shots and the other drivers. and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna head over to the driver's meeting, start getting to work, and I'll catch up with you guys once we start getting ready to make our first test pass. Alright, so we're getting suited up. We came up for test and tune, and they're doing like a 15-minute shutdown of the track so the track staff can get a break. It's hot out here. Trust me, I know the feeling. We saw one of the guys in Gas vs. Diesel make a pass earlier. Right now the boards are still on, right? It's up to us. If we want to test and tune, we got to jump in regular test and tune, which means the boards are on. And I saw my man in the Trailblazer run a 580 at like 90 miles an hour. He let out pretty early. I'm looking forward to making a pass. We've got a pretty decent tune-up in there, I would say. It should run pretty well. I've upped the tire pressure a little bit because what happens when this track is good, right, and when you get a good track, it'll tire shake. There's only a couple ways you can get rid of tire shake. You can give it more power and induce wheel speed. You can take away power and let it ride out. Or what I'm going to try to do is overinflate the tire a little bit. I say overinflate, we're going 14.5. We've used 14.5 before, it's worked fine. But see if we can induce some wheel speed, because I'd much rather have wheel speed and have some spin to the tire than dead hook. That dead hook that's what breaks stuff, that's what chatters the tire and knocks your teeth out, does all that kind of stuff. So I've got a little tune-up in it. It's the heat of the day. We're gonna try to go on down through there. The boards are gonna be on, so everybody will get to see what it runs. I personally don't care. I know the other guy didn't care. He let out early. I'm not letting out early. I want to see what we can do with the new converter and see what differences there are. I'm expecting a change in the amount of RPM that drops during the shift, whereas with the tighter converter we were at about 800. If this thing drops 600 or so, I mean, I'm not sure what direction it's going to move in, but we're going to figure it out. Something that Derek told me is that as long as we're applying the same power, it should always go to the same point during the shift. When the shift happens, if we're at 20 pounds and it's going to 6,400, it should go to 6,400 every time we're at 24 pounds. So I want to see. We've got about 24, 25 pounds in it. That's all I really feel comfortable doing at the moment, just until we make sure and shake down and everything's good, because this thing was on a trailer for 13 hours. It got beat up all along the way. I've checked a couple things, make sure everything seems good, but you just want to have a decent shakedown and make sure that there's nothing that you missed or anything like that, especially after being on an open trailer, getting beat up, bumps in the road, mountains, all this kind of stuff for 13 hours. So I'm gonna get finished getting suited up, and then we'll fire this thing up, we'll pull it up, and we'll go make a rip, see what happens. looks of it, I think it was fuel pressure. I'll have to check the log to be sure, but I believe that's what it was. Went 143 to the 60 foot. Not the best 60 foot ever, but decent. 419 to the 330. Needs more power. I can't tell. I'll have to look at the log and see where it hit the safety to know where it stopped, you know, where it cut the power out. It may have been before the 330. I think it was before the 330. So definitely felt like it could have taken more, but I want to go back and watch the video and see what the tires look like. Didn't feel any tires shake though, you know, didn't feel like it dead hooked and shook the tire or anything, so that was good. But now we got to figure out what safety we're hitting and why. I think I know what it is. All right, so like I was saying, I think we hit a fuel pressure safety, which could be one of two things. I noticed that ever since we dropped the base fuel pressure, I may have dropped it just a little bit too low. So I want to take a look at that. I want to make sure it's not a voltage issue. If it's a voltage issue where the voltage is dropping, that's going to cause fuel pressure to drop. So let me take a look at it, see what we can find. Well, unfortunately, I have no idea what's going on. I've tried restarting this computer several times. I don't know if it's a computer issue or a program issue, but here, we'll even go to an older one, just one that's already worked. For some reason, I think it's, I want to say it's a computer. I don't think it's the software. Yeah. We're having an issue where it won't open the data logs. Like, it'll open them and then it just shows them as completely blank. I've tried opening the previous data log and, you know, I've tried opening old ones. I can't seem to figure out what the issue is. So I don't know. I believe it was a fuel pressure issue. Now, we can do something really simple. We can, I think what happened is I turned the base fuel pressure down to 40 and really it should have been 45. So we're kind of riding this line of fuel pressure, but under boost and under load, you know, it should be climbing anyway. We shouldn't have any issue unless we're having a voltage issue. I would love to be able to tell you guys that, but every time I open a data log, it looks like this, where it opens, but it brings me absolutely nothing. So we've got to get back to work. This is the downside of trying to do two things at once, you know, trying to work and film everybody else and fulfill our contracts and do what we got to do, and trying to race ourselves. Is when things go wrong, I don't have a ton of time and I've already spent 20 minutes or more trying to figure this out and can't get it figured out. So best thing I'm going to hope for is I'm going to restart the computer again, and then hopefully by the time we come back to make our next test and tune run, I think we might have one more. What is about 3 o'clock now? I know they're going to have qualifying for pros and then probably another test and tune session. So hopefully we can figure it out by then. I really am not a fan of turning the safeties off to make it happen. They're there for a reason. You know, things have been going good. I don't know. We'll have to see. We might have to make another pass. Maybe I'll try to up the base fuel pressure and see what that does for us. I think that'll definitely help us a little bit, and then we can kind of go from there. So we got to get back to work, unfortunately. Let me restart this thing. I'll leave it charging so it's got plenty of power, but it sucks. It sucks. Sometimes things go really well, sometimes they don't. Usually the one thing that I know, like the reason I'm not super depressed about any of this is because number one, I've got the coolest job in the world. And number two, usually when it fights me like this is the battle of the Nova. It does a bunch of stupid stuff, stupid, something good happens. Stupid, something good happens. So we just gotta get through the stupid, and then something good will happen. Man. Well, I was looking at the log and I finally got it to populate. I figured it out. Something didn't make a whole lot of sense. And that something is probably this clogged fuel filter. This could also be part of the reason we had the injector issue, all that kind of stuff. So my fault. We should have taken a look at it, and I did not. So we kind of got a change up of plans where we thought we were going to get another test session, which they're doing right now. So if we can figure this out, we might be able to make a test pass. The problem is they've moved our start time up. There's 6 of us in the shootout. I've got second pair right lane against Dan Zelton. diesel guy. It's a 4-door truck. He runs, I think, the 590. Is he running 590 or Pro Street? I think he's running Pro Street, but he's pretty quick. He's pretty quick. So, man, I don't know. So we're gonna have to try to get this fixed up and cleaned out the best we can. I don't have another filter on me, unfortunately. So we'll get this cleaned up, get it back together, cross our fingers, pray, give it everything under the sun. It's either gonna work or it ain't, round one. Bro, when I get these fuel filters cleaned out, I'm going straight across your ass. Oh. That's what I got for you. Oh, you got a race, man? Yeah.
Is that what pissed it off last time?
Yeah. I didn't realize it, but it seems to fix. I just replace them. This might
be better.
Yeah, this will get us racing. Try to sneak one in. There's just enough time before the shootout. We can sneak one in and see what happens. Let's go for it. Remember when the diesel guys were like, we run 100 pounds of boost? And I was like, yeah, we don't run that much, but we're gonna run something. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. We'll figure it out. Look, here's the thing that I do know. We're constantly pushing the limit of what I would say is a heavier car. Now granted, when you look at the rest of the diesels, you know, they're pretty heavy, but in my world, this is a pretty, you know, heavy car, and we're pushing the limits and we're finding them. So, you know, I can't be too upset about that. It felt like a really great pass. I am gonna go collect the time slip, figure out what the 330 looked like. I think it was good until it, you know, until we lifted that head up. You'll have that on them big jabs. It'd be alright. I want to see what the 330 was like. That's what I'm looking at. So we went 6.0, but it was unhappy. There's a decent possibility we melted something this time. We'll see if Brandon can catch up with the scooter. Hook us up. Can you do it? He can't. He can't drive and hand off. My man, thank you. 390. Oh, no, not that great. Ah, man. Well, as we continue to let the engine exit all of its internals, aka its bodily fluids, aka its source of hydration, the water. See, what happened is there was a big kaboom, and I'm not sure if the big kaboom is what did it, but there was a very large kaboom. They said they saw the fireball from about 3 states away, so we provided incredible value and entertainment to the 3 folks that were in the stands. And what happened is when that fireball occurred, due to this ginormous explosion, the head went whoosh, 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 and it all came out, the head gasket. As you can see, it primarily came out the left side, or the passenger side. What would be looking at the left side. So it would be that same head gasket that we had an issue with last time. You would think that I'd be pissed off by now, but in all honesty, this is just part of racing. What happens is you screw up, you screw up, you screw up, you screw up, and hopefully you learn from your screw ups, and then you get better. So as much as I would love to sit here and push this thing on the trailer in the 95-degree sun and heat, we have got a beautiful day with Bowling Green, Kentucky, Beach Bend Raceway. There's ice cream, there's carnival style food, there is still a gas versus diesel shootout happening, so we're gonna go provide some amazing high quality, super fantastic footage of the shootout. Unfortunately, my opponent gets a bye, and yeah, we will rebuild. Alright, so I was supposed to race Dan, but since I kabooskied my stuff, he's gonna get a bye. Let's see what he looks like. I'm no mathematician, but he'd have drug my ass. Look, after I watched it, I was like, yeah, Denzel would have drug my ass. Like that was good.
That was a good lick. That was the best lick.
It looked nice.
Did you see the number?
No, but I looked, like at first it almost looked like you were on the edge of losing it, and I was like, oh, no, nope.
No, I even grabbed the 3rd kit partway down. It wasn't even in the back of my mind to let out of that one. That felt way too good.
Take that W.
We're going to continue all the way to the end now.
Damn right.
We're going after that belt.
Oh yeah.
And I think we got enough to do it.
Alright, so now that we've discovered what happened there with the major explosion in the now melted hole in the side of the block, I'm looking over data and nothing jumps out to me. So at the point of letting go, 207 degrees coolant temp sensor, not a problem. AFR 10.4 RPM. It let go, when it let go, it was at 25. We saw as high as 26.2 pounds of boost. Fuel pressure was good. Battery voltage was decent. Duty cycle, it never saw above 50% duty cycle. So there's a couple things. We had a problem with that cylinder before, that cylinder specifically, so that may have contributed to it. We know that the fuel filters were messed up, so it's possible that something has gotten past the fuel filters and into either a couple of the injectors, or maybe specifically that injector right there. You know, you don't blow stuff out like that. You don't melt stuff unless it goes lean or it's got a bunch of timing. Let me see what ignition timing was at that point. I guarantee you it's not going to be anything crazy whatsoever. 13 degrees of ignition timing. We didn't have too much timing in it. So, I mean, I don't know. 13, I think, would be pretty safe for a 25-pound boost at that exact point. So, it could just be that, you know, I'm gonna have to take all the injectors out, send them off to be clean, tested, everything. We'll mark that one specifically and see, hey, was there something wrong with that one? Because everything else, for the most part, should have held, like, you know, pretty good. So, hey, Beach Bend is freaking awesome. I love this place. Want to be in my next video? Hey, you guys got an LS in the back of that thing? Try and make a race. So, yeah, so data-wise, you know, I'll send it to Derek, see what he says. He's much better at reading data. I joked with him about running 26 pounds this weekend, and it was scrambled. It wasn't programmed, it was my doing. So, yeah, you'll have that. Come back bigger, stronger, faster. Is that the thing? Kyle, is it bigger, stronger, faster?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, the 80s movie, you know, like.
Just like that. We have the technology.
We have the technology, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, you guys got something to drink back here?
Yes, yes.
All right, so we're in what is now going to be the semifinal. We've got Dan Zelton against Austin Deutsch. Now, Austin Deutsch is no stranger to no prep small tire. I've seen him race plenty, and he is fast. Dan Zelton just put down a lick that shocked the crap out of me. And he did, we're friends, so he shared ET, and I was like, wow. And I can tell you, I know what both of these trucks have ran, and this right here should be a finals match. This is going to be a barn burner of a race right here. Man, that was a hell of a drag race right there.
This thing just keeps going faster.
It's going faster. It looks like you took a little shot at the tree, and then, man, you guys were flying.
I knew we had to try something to beat him.
Hey,
I know he goes fours. We're not quite the fours yet. We're close. We're knocking on the door, but
yeah. Hey, it worked, and it looked good.
It was another good A to B. More data on the truck. We've got under 20 passes on this chassis now, and it just keeps going faster. So we're really thrilled.
Oh yeah. Well, look, I'm gonna let you get ready for the finals, but good luck,
Thank
brother.
you.
I think Luke's gonna come up here and get a few pictures.
All right, so there you guys have it. Dan Zelton took home the W. He had to drug me from one end of that track to the other, but I'm happy to see him win. He was telling me, you know, this winter he built a bunch of that chassis himself. I mean, he's just beside himself because, you know, he built it with his own two hands. And honestly, that's, you know, that's kind of why we all do this, and that's what I'm looking for. And today we found a limit. There may be, you know, it could be an ignition coil acting up, could be we got something in the fuel injector, it could be, you know, based on data, everything looks pretty good. So it could be any number of things. Something was just unhappy, it didn't work. Everybody on the internet's getting all up in arms, and I'm sure people are gonna get in the comments all up in arms, but like trying to race week in and week out and consistently go faster and faster, and I have this year. And sometimes it's gonna be at the expense of some parts, you know? I don't have anybody teaching me this stuff. I don't have anybody, you know, I got the internet, that's about it. And I got some friends that I ask for advice, but, you know, it's not like my next door neighbor is, you know, running 4-second LS motors or something. So it is what it is. I'll figure it out, and I'll do whatever it takes to figure it out. Right now, we're back to the conversation I had earlier where, like, hey, you know, we found a limit here. So now we either need to do something to A, more safely increase power, or B, drop a bunch of weight so we can not run 26.2 pounds, we can run 24, and we know it'll just keep taking 24 and be happy. Or maybe a combination of both, I don't know. It's nice to be here because when I talk to the guys here, the diesel world is they've advanced so much so fast. These guys are blowing stuff up left and right. They're trying to get it figured out. So, you know, I blow something up and I'm like, hey guys, I'm learning. And they're just like, cool man, keep learning. If we can help, let us know. Like that's what I really enjoy, because not everybody has all the answers, born with the answers, knows them all, whatever the case may be. I thought the tune-up was pretty safe, which leads me to something mechanical not right, whether it be, did I plug up an injector, which is possible. We saw the filters. You know, did we have an ignition coil problem? Is it because we had a problem with that hole already anyway, and where we thought, you know, just a rod was going to be the issue, we thought we found it, maybe there was something done to the block and the head, you know, we didn't, I don't have a machine shop on call. I can't drop something off and then go pick it up the next day. So we do what we can with what we've got. Any way you cut it, hey, it's part of racing, man. Look, I know a lot of people go through this. I'm not the only one. The difference is I do it publicly. When I fail, everybody knows about it. So you just got to take it in stride. If you guys are going through something, you guys are trying to figure something out, it's not running, it's not working, it's not doing what you want, you just got to keep going, man. I mean, everybody here that watched the past said, man, that thing looked really good until it didn't. I was like, it felt really good until it didn't. So we're moving in the right direction. We just found a limit. But I'll catch you guys next time. We're gonna get everything packed up. We're gonna get this thing pushed on the trailer and get back to work for the weekend.